The Fishing Paper Show is proudly brought to you by United Fisheries, bringing fresh fish to your plate.
Hello, I'm Crimpy and welcome. Coming up on the show, you've heard of Jaws, but tonight we have the world premiere of Mouse. That's right, you've heard it here, Mouse, and we also go wild in the Canterbury High Country. But first, joining me in the shed tonight, looking somewhat bemused, Huey, Dewey and Louie. We have on my immediate left Richard Cairns, a well-known Canterburyan inventor. Good evening.
Thank you, Crump.
Nice to have you along. Tony Entwistle.
Crimpy, is that really you?
It is.
What happened to the beard, son?
It fell off. Actually, what happened to the beard was I was going to keep it on, but unfortunately, it's my wife. It gave her a terrible rash, and in the end, I couldn't bear to see her walking funny, so I shaved it off. And on the far left, we have Mr. Mark Preston from Hamills. Good evening.
Great to be here, Crimpy.
It's nice to be here, but one moment. No, we have the fat controller in my ear. Sorry, something has gone terribly wrong. Proving that he really does have a whopper on his hands. Tony Entwistle with his first kingfish. He was so excited that he decided to let it drive the boat. Tony was trained by well-known fish handler Steve Terry.
Brings back good memories.
Oh dear,
I don't mind.
Hey, you never thought that would come back to haunt you, did you? All right, going to a man now.
Briefly.
Yeah, going to a man now who probably is quite comfortable in the shed. Richard Cairns, you woke up one night, went out to the shed and created an invention. Tell us about that.
Yes, basically with family, we were sitting down one evening watching Coast Watch, about that 7:30 period, and we saw majority of New Zealanders not doing their part with taking their right-sized fish. So the young daughter said to me, why don't you make something a bit more interesting, Dad? Simple, innovative and durable for the average Kiwi bloke to use when he's fishing, and basically it came from there. So we got up one sort of evening about just before midnight, decided to get up and CAD drew it on the computer. Next day went out to the garage, into the shed, guillotined a bit of stainless up, folded a piece up.
And you brought along to show us?
Yes, brought one of the samples.
So you're trying to tell us that size does actually matter?
Well, always.
All right, so what do we got here? This is a device for measuring fish.
Yes. Well, we sort of been on the market now for a couple of months, and the first prototype we built in the shed was pretty much close match to what we had here. Got a product.
So how does it work?
Well, after you've caught your, it has a variety of different sequences here you can use. You got your oysters and measure your scallops in this part here.
Yeah.
So shell goes in, as long as it touches the sides mechanically, it's deemed legal. Yeah. The same with the power. Place the power against the headstop. As long as the power breaks the indicator slot, it's deemed legal. Okay. So whether it's the legal that you need. And the main thing about it is we put the paint on, it's a slip-in fish measure. So as you catch a fish, slide them against there, and just like this, gosh, there's an old one, isn't it? and as long as the V tail breaks the appropriate slot of the target species that you're after, it's deemed legal.
Well, there you go. So it's called Size It Right, and it's available from Hamills?
Yes, it is, indeed.
All right. Okay, very nice, but as you can see, the fish has probably seen better days, so we'll get rid of him. All right, it's probably time to go out into the field. Now, if you wonder what fish and game do in their spare time, well, they do a lot. One of the things that they actually do to monitor the health of the rivers is they go diving, in fact, drift diving. Take a look at this. Us Kiwi anglers are passionate about our rivers, but what goes on below the dappled and dancing waters is often lost to the eye above. Trout can be very easy to spot. But they can also be the master of disguises, using camouflage to great advantage. From above, a stretch of river may appear barren, But as Fish and Game's Lawson Davey points out, once you put your head under the water, you get a totally different view. It's a part of the job most Fish and Game field officers love, apart from when there's frost on the ground or it's snowing, the annual drift dives. Throughout the Nelson and Marlborough region, rivers generally afford high visibility, and it is for this reason Fish and Game here do more drift dives than any other region. Some rivers are dived annually, such as the Motueka, Wangapeka, Rye, Pelorus, Spring Creek, the Branch and the Leatham, while others are done in rotation. Over the years, 37 rivers in the region have been dived, covering over 90 different sites. Drift dives may cover stretches from 1 to 3 kilometres, and they're done on sites that don't change. The aim is to assess trout populations, so divers, keeping abreast in a line, count trout into small, medium and large categories. Divers also keep their finger on the pulse of the river and come away with a first-hand account of the condition and quality of the habitat. Combined with fish numbers, Lawson can determine how many fish there are per kilometre and also keep an eye on the health of the river. Fish and Game have been drift diving the region since the early 80s, and each year information from the dives is collated and added to a central database. The information is valuable for recognising trends and is becoming increasingly important at a political level. With this country's thirst for energy, Fish and Game are increasingly defending our pristine rivers from the advancing threat of hydroelectric schemes, and information learned from drift dives proves a very useful tool. While Kiwi anglers continue to enjoy pitting wits with the wily brown, it is in no small part thanks to the efforts of local Fish and Game officers. Well, if you enjoyed that, we'll have more big fish action in a moment. But now it's time to go deep and dig deep for this week's Viewers Vid. Send us your viewers' vids to PO Box 9001 Annesbrook, Nelson, or email us a YouTube link to crimpy@extra.co.nz. All right, well, it has been described as the year of the mouse, but why did the pussy miss out? More of that in a moment. Catch you shortly.